One of the spiritual practices explored in Coming Home and detailed in Kentigern, A Life a Pilgrimage, is the topic of pilgrimage. Pilgrimage, from the Latin peregrinus, meaning stranger or wanderer, takes us out of our routine, our usual place, into a liminal space where the unknown and uncertain are more likely to be encountered. It is a place and a time, if we choose it, for that rare thing these days, solitude. Without the clutter of everyday experiences, requirements and encounters, we may, through pilgrimage, be open to a spacious quality where the new can be seen, heard and experienced. Pilgrimage draws on the landscape where every crossroads, turning and feature can be a catalyst for reflection and prayer for deeper understanding. A pilgrimage is a prayer, not in the sense of asking for things, but of relating. On the journey, we open ourselves up to the possibility of a deeper relationship with the all that is, the beloved. A pilgrimage is not just a journey in the external world, it is to travel the hidden roads in our own consciousness, our interior landscape. The outer and the inner exploration set up a dynamic in which there is hope and possibility of transformation. There are mountains to climb, deserts in which to lose oneself, oceans to sail and long journeys to travel. Sometimes along the way home we may feel called to undertake arduous challenges in order to get spiritual rewards, mature and transform. Often a great challenge is accompanied by a shift in perception of self, of the relationship in the beloved and with the world. Yet these mountains and deserts and journeys may also be projections, for within each of us there are indeed the heights, depths and deserts of the self, the conscious and unconscious realms to explore. My first forced encounter with pilgrimage was at school, made to read Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. The elements of the classic pilgrimage are found therein. Groups or individuals journeying to a religious shrine in search of healing or spiritual guidance. The film The Way encounters the contemporary combination of tough physical journey, prayer and worship, encounters with persons and places, all of which inwardly challenge, shaking and shifting perceptions of self, others, faith, and the divine. Pilgrimage of all sorts, long or short, has become hugely popular again. Well-known traditional routes like that to Santiago de Compostela, requiring the resources and ability to walk many hundreds of miles, contrasts with the trend towards self-created routes. Almost invariably walked or wheelchaired, the physical earthbound effort seems to aid the shift of consciousness. I've recently met people going from Durham Cathedral to the Angel of the North to lay a wreath, another group walking the stone circles of the Isle of Lewis, yet another following ley lines to Glastonbury Tor. It's not so much the nature of the journey that matters, but the consciousness with which we do it. If we travel to any sacred site to marvel, photograph and gather facts, we will have a very different experience than if we take a reverent approach, seeking to deepen our relationship to the beloved. As the former, we are mere tourists, at the latter, true pilgrims. The former is involved, the latter committed. And if you're not sure of the difference, think of a breakfast of eggs and bacon. The hen is involved, but the pig is committed. I once pilgrimaged from Iona to Glasgow. Over 13 days and 155 miles I passed through bucolic idyll and industrial wasteland, stayed in nurturing B&Bs and some awful ones, traversed mountain and valley, sailed across sea and loch, and tramped through bog and along city streets. I met folks of all sorts along the way, had conversations which are shallow, and was often asked, why Iona to Glasgow? Surely it shall be the other way round. Iona is a beautiful place of great spiritual repute. Glasgow a busy city with a mighty history and filled with all the joys and pressures that city life offers. Surely the natural instinct is to walk from the busy place to the tranquil, from the grim to the beautiful. Such judgments create dualism, the divine in this place but not in that place. Lately, while creating the Kentigern pilgrimage of the churches around the northern fells, I found myself again questioning the notion of some places as sacred, others not. Certainly it can seem easier to see the beloved in beautiful landscapes or loving encounters, but can we also find the divine in the people we meet along the way who challenge us, in places that are not glorious or in the detritus in the street. The sacred is everywhere. There is nowhere that the beloved is not. Perhaps that is one of the products of pilgrimage, an evolution of consciousness, of realization that it's not about where we are in place and time, but our awareness of the divine wherever and whenever that matters. Thus, we do not necessarily have to endure some arduous journey over great distances and at great cost in many senses. Even the thought of that can be off-putting. Nor is pilgrimage just for the holy or those who feel the need to struggle. A short walk to church or gathering place, the effort to find time and place at home to meditate, walking the labyrinth of our interior realm, as well as the labyrinthine journey in physical reality, this everyday interplay of one with the other creates transformation in our relationship with self, the world, and the beloved. This is the essence of pilgrimage. We do not have to suffer on pilgrimage, to travel half the way on our knees or stretch our bodies beyond limits. The thought that we only gain something if it hurts is suspect. The consciousness with which we approach pilgrimage, the surrender of the will, the intention, the desire to make the effort, is of equal if not greater importance. It's not so much where we pilgrimage, but that we pilgrimage. Through prayer and effort in faith, working through scripture, opening to the guidance of spirit, all these and more, we come to know that the sacred we seek is within. The outer journey, however long or short, paradoxically takes us deeper inwards. The place to which we pilgrimage and encounter God most readily is in that inner chamber to which Jesus pointed. We tend to think of church, or for that matter mosque, temple, shrine or synagogue, as a specific building and gathering of people going through certain rituals together, believing certain things. Yet there are many ways of expressing church, of engaging with others and the beloved to deepen our relationships and nourish our path of service. The encounters we have with others, God and ourselves, are ways of doing church that are as alive today as ever. They permit many to participate in the spiritual path who might otherwise feel alienated from religious practices and orthodoxies, or who just need a break from them, in the longing for depth and oneness in the relationship to the divine. To go deeper in that relationship can be likened to the three experiences that define the mystic. Seeking to let go of everyday distractions and interior attachments is purgation. To be open to new insights into self and the beloved is illumination, and allowing all this to integrate draws us ever closer to union. Pilgrimage stretches us at every level, physical, psychological, emotional and spiritual. That's what pilgrimage does to us, yes, does to us. Although we do all the walking and organising, it may become clear to us that it was not so much that we take a pilgrimage, but that pilgrimage takes us. On my own journeys I realised I'd not so much sought the beloved, but the beloved was seeking me.